So now we want to, what we want to do now is we want to continue with where we left off. Now we have already signed up and we have boxes being created here and there, and so this Collabo should, remember we're implementing Collabo here, it should return for us the main window. I think to be good, this one should return for us the main window, because that's what we want. Then this dummy sign up we created, we can remove it. Sign in, I mean. I think we don't need it here. We shall need it somewhere. Now observe that there are still functions which we are bound to this, so we are going to copy these other functions because I think they are validation functions. We may actually need all of them. So I'm just going to copy them because this is the first level of refactoring. The first level of refactoring is that we are simply pasting everything layout, but we're also going to split layouts into components and see really what happens. So let me just see that the indentation is correct. Oh, okay. There's something, I don't know what happened. I thought I was going to zip that, but let me just do something simple. I thought I was going to zip actually this. I need to make sure this is available. Let me just restore. Let me just restore my GitHub. Let me just restore something. I need to make sure that, because here we are refactoring, I need to make sure the code at this level is available in handouts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to here, source codes. Let me just do this. I'm going to navigate there. Let me just say create some directory called handouts. And I go to handouts. Let me clone what already I have here, just to make sure that we're okay. Otherwise, I'm already refactoring it, and I want this code to be available. It may be tricky for some of you to follow. So this code will be available in the handout section. Everything we have done before we started refactoring. So I'm just going to copy this because I may update the repository anytime. So let me just clone it. Now I hope you remember how to clone. Simply git clone and then you paste that. So we already know these skills. If you're doubting it, simply go and retake some of those things. I should have cloned with the version, so, but anyway, let me just go and what did I clone? It's inside here. Let me just rename this before refactoring. So that way I'll be able to upload this. Let me actually zip it. Just to make sure you can have this. Amazing. So let's go back. So I was saying that we can have these other functions below here. We are already returning this. Now, the reason why we are returning the main layout, because that's what we are going to import the other side. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because these are the skills you will need when you're working on a complex project. Because what we did was like a small project, but now we are trying to make sure our code can work for a complex project. So I'm just going to paste these methods so that everything here still works. Now what I will do is I'll come to my main here. I can now, instead of importing hello, I can go to hello. This is views, and then layouts. So from layouts, I can import sign up layout. So I don't need to do that. I'll just import sign up layout. And sign up in the startup here, we can have main window. Can say main window is going to be sign out layout, and then layout. I think that's what we had. We are calling this class, which is layout, and we initialize it. And since it's a callable, we can call the object, and then we can have this main layout show something like this. So this will simply show it, ideally. So let's run it, see whether it can really work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this, and not here, here. Let's run it again and see whether it really works. Okay, so we have some issue called former name is not defined. That's because that former name was inheriting from this app itself and things like that. So we can actually, what we can do is we need to go here, remove now former name. We just give the real name, which is going to be where do we use phone name here? Hello app. Just have something like that and see whether it works. Our first task is to make sure it works. If it works, then amazing. I just say. Okay, I think somehow we need to now rethink here. So they are saying app application does not have a main window. Does your startup method assign a value to self main window? So that's because, like, the way we looked at, every application must have a main window assigned to it. Now that means that most of the things we are doing at this level, it will be good not to do them actually at this level. We could do this at the other side in the app, because that's where our app is anyway. That's where our app is. So we could copy, let's just have this. Let's see. We could have something, let the main window, let this one return main box actually. Let this one return main box. Let's see what are we doing here. We need to create the main window inside the other side because it is needed. Let's have it here. Let's just see this. Okay. So what's returned here is the main box. Let's just have main box being returned here. Let's say we are returning here the main box. And that should be tricky. We need the main window here. Okay. Now to show this, let's have this main window created here. And once the main window is created here, let this main window, let's remove this. Let this one go back to here. However, let this main window come as data here. So we are going to have main window around here. Yeah, just make sure things work well. So we are going to have main window around here. Main window is going to be equal to what is coming from the app. So we have main window run from the app. Now, just a reminder here is that the assumption here is that you have taken the object-oriented classes. So if you came and skipped it and you are wondering what we're really doing here, you go and retake the object-oriented classes here, because we are not spending much time really explaining exactly. We're just explaining our concepts, not really the actual code. So you're explaining concepts. So the idea is you want this, because this main window must be around this app here, because our Hello app is the one inheriting from there. So our main window needs to be created, because we said main windows are automatically bound to the app. You don't need to add them to the app. You just have to create them under the startup. So if you create them under the startup, then maybe they are just going to be added there. So what we want to do is we want to pass this main window to our layout, so it gets it from there. So in other words, our layouts can take main window and it takes that. And then after taking the main window, what happens is our box is now added to the main window as a content. Our box now added to main window as content under callable, and we realize that actually we may not need to return anything, so we can just maybe return true, something like that. But our main window content changed. So let's see whether this works really. So we added a show. Where was show somewhere? Let's see. There's show somewhere here. Maybe we need to return the main window if you are going to have show here. But you may realize that you don't need to return main window again, because you could simply replace this with main window, because we are showing already the window you have. So let's have that. Yes. So it has worked, meaning that we're able to separate our codes into the other thing. Actually, let's just test it out. Let's see whether we can register, whether our things can actually work very well. We still have some issues. Layout object has no attribute window too. Okay, let's remove that. We're already at 12 minutes, so we are going to start with that in the next tutorial.